Hey folks, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Today I am going to present one of the progressions of this spinal opening, spinal extension video I did a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll put the link in the description below. And also this is a standalone video, so no need to immediately jump off and jump to the prior video or something like that. You can practice it like that as a standalone as well. Alright, before we get started, if you want to support me in being able to put out more free content like that, please check out my Patreon page down below, and also just subscribe to my channel to get more updates like this. Now, without any further ado, let's jump right into the exercise. We'll talk about one of the progressions, the supported progressions of spinal extension. In this specific case, I'm going to use my arms in order to open up my spine in a specific way even more. Now, we can do those segment activations of the muscles in the back to open up different spinal segments to the front and up. And that's what I explained in the last video. It's always important when we talk about the spinal extension. In this specific case, the way I'm teaching it right now, it's really important to understand that it's not just about thinking, oh, I'm gonna pull my shoulders back, I'm gonna contract back here. The focus should always be on the opening of the joints, the opening of the spinal segments, and it's a two-vector opening. First of all, to the front, and then secondly, also slightly up, because that's what really creates this differentiation to what happens most times throughout the day, where it's always a compressional and downward facing aspect whenever we put weight on our body, whether it's an external load that we carry with our hands or a backpack or something like that, or our heads in front of the computer, anything like that. It's always directed downwards, which is why right now we're using this front and up opening aspect. Now, using the hands as a support mechanism, the position we are in is inside edges of the feet are parallel to each other, roughly hip-wide apart. I'm really relaxed in my legs, my knees are slightly bent, so I'm not really in any type of squat or anything like that. I'm just not locking my legs back to the rear. Now, we place our hands actually on the pelvic ring in behind here, like so. So this is my hip bones to the left and to the right, the upper edge of my hip bones here to the left and to the right. So I want to place my palm on the left and on the right side here on top of my buttocks, but still with the palm of my hand still resting on that hip bone, not so much in the lumbar spine to start with. So we are resting down here. Now what we do from this position is we're gonna gently push down with the hands towards the buttocks and slightly diagonally to the front, while at the same time we use this midsection area here in the back to activate the muscles and think of a forward and slightly up opening of the chest area. So I have this gentle pushing down and forward and up activation, and then I let go. And then wiggle yourself out a little bit before you have the second go. Now what does this do as opposed to the simple exercise of activating the muscles in the rear without using the hands? What it does is actually it opens up the chest, and especially up here, the area between your collarbones and your sternum a lot more, opens up the pectorals a little bit more, puts a little bit of pressure here when we do this, but it also activates the more outside lying muscles in the back because of this pushing aspect with the arms. So it's really a nice chest opener that focuses also more on this opening to the side and not just the front and up, which is quite nice. Another aspect, if we want to roll back even further, now obviously we can do so by activating the lumbar spine, activating the thoracic spine, activating the upper thoracic, and then eventually my cervical spine, and roll back. We can do so, and if you feel safe in doing this, it's fine. But if you do not feel safe with your muscle activation, you're not sure of it, then I suggest you use your hands as a support in the back area here to literally open up the whole front fascial line of your body. It looks like this from here. We could go even further, I'm going to show you just in a second, but it's not necessary. And one thing that you probably realized right now, I started this movement in my head rather than lower down. Normally, what we did in the last video and what we've just done with this opening with the arms down here in the pelvic ring, we start the movement from our body to the front and up, but we start from the body upwards. Now we actually have a little bit of different hand placement. We have our hand a little bit higher, so this front part of my palm, where my fingers are attached then, this is the part that rests where prior to in the first exercise we had the palm of the hand. This is where I have my hands right now. My palms are a little bit higher. They're actually even a little bit on top of my hip bones here. And I'm starting this whole movement by opening one vertebrae after the other in my cervical spine. And as I progress with this opening, then I eventually feel pressure being delivered through my shoulders, my elbows, all the way back down into my lumbar spine, or if I have the hand placement correct, which should be the case, into my pelvic ring. This is what pushes my pelvic ring slightly to the front by reducing the opening aspect in the lumbar spine, thus taking pressure off of that area, but still delivering a larger opening of the whole body, because it also opens the hip joints to the front, it opens the fascial lines all the way down into the legs, and so I have a full body bow type opening with a safe and secured lumbar spine. I'm going to show you this once again. Hand placement. Here is my hip bone. Hand is placed a little bit on top of it. I open my whole body a little bit to the front, and then I roll one vertebrae after the other, beginning in the top cervical spine. Now I feel pressure being delivered through my shoulders, into my elbows, and into my pelvic ring. I keep contracting in my whole spine, in the rear of my spine, to open up to the front, but the more I open up, the more pressure is actually happening through the hands in my pelvic ring. This pressure is all the pressure that is taken out of the lumbar spine and delivered straight into the pelvic ring, which can easily take the load. And then I open up the hip joints to the front. And when I want to come back out again, I don't roll up with my head, I rather push my pelvis backwards, which literally reverses that power triangle here, and my pelvis pushes into my elbow, into my shoulder, brings my upper body a little bit more upright, and once I feel that I'm safe in the lumbar spine, then I'm back into a straight line back into neutral. That's the next progression for this exercise. You can really go very far with that, and it's just a nice way of gently working step by step to be able to do nice and safe spinal extensions, to take off pressure off the body, to reduce pressure in the organ system, to open up the chest area, support with breathing, relax the diaphragm, and so on and so on. So it's really a nice exercise to just get the blood pumping and get the whole body in flow and an opening state again. If you liked the video, please click like, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell at the end of the video. Make sure to comment down below if there are any questions whatsoever. And yeah, just make sure to be on safe ground, to stand solid on the ground. When you do this exercise, be slow and gentle with yourself. Don't overdo it. Go step by step and take it a little bit further every time you feel safe in it. And make sure that when you come back, you also relax your arms back down. And then again, gently wiggle yourself out. Down to too many repetitions of this exercise. It's really mainly to open your body, relax, flow a little bit, and then go and do whatever you wanted to do and warm up more or whatever. Alright, have a wonderful time, thanks for watching, and see you soon guys, bye.